Hi everyone, I am Manisha Gupta and welcome back to my YouTube channel Manisha Gupta. Previously it was MANUISHU ACCA classes. So in my channel you will find the content related to the exam kit solving and Excel tips, or like you're improving your basic English, or many more things. I mean tips and strategy to clear your paper in the first attempt. So don't forget to subscribe and share my channel for more video on this kind of topic. And in today's video we are going to solve one long question, and this is from the budgeting topic, and the question is from the Kaplan kit. So previously we have solved the few. In case you have missed out to watch those videos, you can check those video in the playlist available on my YouTube channel at free of cost. So let's solve the today question. So grab your calculator, your notebook, or the Excel, wherever you used to do the practice. So let's solve this question together. And the question name is Tathborne PLC. So question is saying Tathborne PLC is preparing its budget for the coming year. It expects to be able to sell 5,000 units of its product the gram. So company is only having one product, and product name is gram, and company is expecting that they can sold 5,000 unit of gram in the month of January. Sales are then expected to rise to 5,500 unit in the February, 7,000 unit in the March, then they remain stable for the rest of the year. That means in the January company will, Tathborne PLC will sell 5,000. In February they will sell 5,500. In the March they will sell 7,000, and the 7,000 will be continue for the rest of the month, like from April, May, June. The 7,000 will remain same. Tathborne PLC aims to carry finished goods inventory at the end of the each month equal to 10% of the following month sales. So what does this mean? Company policy is to carry closing inventory, and that should be equal to 10% of the next month sales. So that means if we are in the January and we are planning to hold closing inventory, so that should be 10% of the next month. So next month is Feb, and February sales is 5,500. So 10% of 5,500 should be closing inventory for the month of Jan. Similarly, if we are in the month of March and we are planning to have closing inventory, so that should be equal to again 10% of the next month sales, and next month is March and sales is 7,000. So 10% of 7,000 will be the closing inventory for the Feb. So this is what the question is saying. Each gram takes 4 labor hours to make, means one unit require 4 hours of the labor. Okay. Tathborne 138 production workers are employed on the contract that require them to work a minimum 160 hours per month and are is paid 1,280 per month. Production workers are highly skilled and require a minimum of 1 year training. In the short term, it is not possible to recruit any more production worker. Any labor hours required in excess of 160 hours per worker are made up by overtime that is paid at the basic rate plus an overtime premium of 50%. So what this paragraph is saying, by reading this paragraph, what I understand, that currently company have 138 production worker and they can only work for minimum 160 hours per month and they are getting paid 1280. But if in short term it is not possible to recruit the worker, so if company want them to work overtime, in that case company may need to overtime premium which is 50%. Okay, so this is what this paragraph is saying. Now let's come to the requirement. Calculate the budget in the unit showing opening and closing inventory of the finished goods to the nearest whole number. So we will not only solve this question together, but I will also highlight the mistake that students used to do while doing this kind of question. So first question is asking to calculate the production budget, okay, and showing opening, closing, and production unit, and again read the format. They are asking in the whole number, so answer should not be in the decimal place, otherwise you won't get the credit. Okay, so in order to score full mark, please make sure to first check the format in which examiner is looking for your answer, and even you will have calculated the right answer in the decimal place, but if you will put the answer in the decimal place, you won't get the credit, you will lose your mark. So let's solve this question together. I have just copy paste this box in my Excel sheet. Now for the sales, what should be the value? It's quite easy, everything is given in the question. If you will look at the question, they are saying for the January the sales is 5,000, right? Yes, for the January sales is 5,000, and the February the sales is your 5,500 unit, again 55, and for the March it is 7,000 unit. Now closing inventory. In the second paragraph, the question says closing inventory should be 10% of the next month. So 10% of the next month means this next month sales. So for January, next month will be February, and what is the sales value for the February? It's 5,500. So 10% of the 5,500, it will be 550. Similarly, for the Feb, we will take 10% of the March sales, and for the March, we will take April. But we know what is the sales value of the April? It's 7,000. You might be wondering how I know that April sales will be 7,000. If you remember, the question says the sales will be remain stable for the next of the year. So that means for April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, the sales will be 7,000. So that will be 10% of 7,000 will be 700, which will be the closing inventory for the month of March. Now opening inventory. See, quite easy. This closing inventory will be the opening inventory for the month of March, right? Yes. And this closing will be, I mean, the closing of the February will be opening for the March. But now, what will be the opening for the Jan? What will be the opening for the Jan? This is quite tricky. So if you will understand the things, it will you will be able to solve this. What will be the opening inventory for the Jan? See, for closing inventory, we are taking the 10%. Let me add, what will be the month before Jan? It will be December, right? Okay. And now closing inventory, what we have done, we have taken 10% of the following month sales. So that means for December closing inventory, it will be 10% of the following month sales, which is January sales, and January sales is 5,000. So that means 500, and this closing will be opening for the Jan. Are you getting my point? So what I mean to say, in order to get the opening inventory of the January, we need to identify what is the closing inventory for the December previous month, right? And the question says company policy is to hold 10% of following month sales as a closing inventory. So following month is January, and January sales is 5,000, and 10% of 5,000 will be 500, which will be the closing inventory for the month of December. And this closing will be opening for the January, and January closing will be opening for February, and February closing will be opening for the March. This is how we got our answer. Okay, I hope you are clear up to now. Now for production unit. Now production unit. What is the formula for the cost of sales? Cost of sales equal to opening plus purchase minus closing, right? And we need, production unit means purchase. So in order to get the purchase, what we need to do, we need to take the sales value, sales unit. Closing cost of sales will be equal, what is mean by cost of sales? Means whatever the unit we sold, what was the actual cost we have incurred for that unit. So unit we have sold is 5,000, so that will be the cost of sales, 5,000. Opening we already know, and closing also we know. By using this formula you can find out the production unit, and that means purchase equal to COS minus opening plus closing. So we have to do same in this box as well. So purchase means cost of sales means this, minus opening means this, and plus closing means this. So doing this we got 550 unit as production for the January, for February and March. So I will hide this column, and for B as well I will hide this. Now this is the what the requirement is asking. I hope you are clear now. So we got our sales, closing inventory, opening inventory and production. And the question also asks in the nearest. We have calculated all the value to the nearest number. I hope you are clear now. Now next question B. Calculate the labor budget showing both hours labor cost to the nearest whole number. Again question asks to calculate the into the nearest whole number, so don't put the decimal. And what also question says, assume that all production worker work at least 160 hours per month. Alright, so let's do this question once more time. I will copy paste this. Everything is same. Just wait. So this is the part B, and now question asks you to calculate total hours, okay, and then basics hours, then overtime hours needed, okay. Then we will move to the next one. Let's first solve this one. So total hours, what do you think, to produce this much quantity how many hours we need? In the question it has mentioned one unit require 4 labor hour, right? You can see here the question has mentioned already that the one unit require 4. So if we are producing 50-50, I mean 5050 in the month of January, so how much labor hour we need? So it's simply unitary method. If one unit require 4 labor hour, so how much hours need for the 5050? Obviously hour will be more, so we need to multiply. So I got my answer, that's a 20,200. And similarly for the February and the March, it's simple, only you need to do copy paste. So just multiply this unit with the 4. We got our answer for the each of the month. Now basic hour, as the question said that labor will only work for 160 hours, right? Here you can see. So for 160, how much they are being paid? They are being paid 1280. Just wait. Okay, so basics hours available. Okay, question is asking basics hour available, means how much hours is available. So we have only 138 production labor and they can only work for minimum 160, so that means 22,080, and it will be same for the each month, because question has not mentioned anything about the each month. They only says that labor will work 160 hours and currently they have 138 production worker, right? Now we need 20,200 and we have 22,080. So do you think we need to do overtime? No, zero. So even though don't leave the option this box as a blank, just keep it 0 there, right? Don't leave the blank. Even though answer is 0, just keep it 0, okay? That's fine. Now for the month of Feb, we need 22,600 but we only have 22,080. So how much extra hour we need? Just subtract this. 520. We need 520. Similarly for the March, we need 28,000 hours but we only have 22,080. So how much extra overtime hour we need? 5920. Done. We are done with this part. Now let's move to the next one. Okay. Now let's do the basic rate payment. So how much labor is being paid right now? So they are currently working 160 hours and they are being paid 1280. If you remember the question, 1280. Sorry, I mean this will be, I mean 138 into 12 because each labor has been paid 1280 per month. So I assume, I thought it was for the per hour. No, it was for the per labor. You can see here each paid 1280 per month, means one labor been paid 1280. So how much total cost will be for the 138 worker? So simply multiply this and I got 176,640, and it will be same for the rest of the month because question didn't mention anything about for the rest of the month. Now overtime payment. Over, because as we are not doing any over, I mean worker is not doing any overtime in the month of January. You can see it's zero, so just only keep the zero here and don't leave it as a blank. Okay. Now next, so how much overtime hour we need in the month of Feb? 520. And how much they should be paid? They should be paid, just wait. Here we need to do some sort of calculation to make you understand. I can't go through the shortcut right now. See, currently each labor is being paid 1280, right? So 1280 per labor hour, per labor. Okay. And how much? I mean, how much hour they are giving? 160, right? They are giving 160. So basic rate will be your, this is the cost, and we will divide by 160. That means they are being paid 8 per hour. So this is your, just wait, dollar per labor, and now below one is dollar per hour. Okay. So we got our dollar per hour. Now question says overtime will be paid 50% premium, means overtime will be, overtime will be your, this 8 plus 50% of the 8. 50% of the 8. Both are same. Or what you can do is simply take the 8 and multiply it by 150 percentage. Answer will be same. So that means we need to pay 12 for each extra hour of overtime, right? So how much overtime we have done for the Feb? 520, and we will multiply it by 12. So we got our answer, that's a 6240. For the month of March it will be same, 5920 is the extra overtime and 12 will be the pay, and it's a 1740, 71,040. So we got our answer, and this is for the dollar per hour, and but it's for the overtime. Okay, this one is the basic and this is for overtime. So we are done with the part B as well. Now the question asks you to calculate the total labor cost. So simply what you can do is total labor cost. So it will just add these two. Yeah, we got our answer. Yes, done. We are done with the both of the part. Is there is section C as well? No. Okay, only mean part C as well? No. Okay, so we are done with this. We have scored 10. I hope you have enjoyed. In case you have confusion, you can text me in the comment box or in any of my social media ID, YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, Quora, anywhere. I will try my best to address your query. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye.